I'm 30 years old and I have gone a lot of trauma in my life. When I was a child, I had a lot of epileptic seizures. I had a lot of medical problems. At a very young age, I had a lot of sexual abuse on top of being bullied, being picked on, getting beaten by people at school, and I was in a lot of domestic abusive relationships at a young age on top of being raped. And it was really hard for me to cope with all that because I never knew how. By the time, before I was even 25, I was raped 4 times. And it was just like, you know, this is normal. This is okay for something to happen. You know, no one ever told me that it's not okay. No one ever told me that a guy shouldn't put his hands on a woman. No one told me or taught me how a man should treat a woman or what it feels like to be in a healthy relationship or what even a healthy relationship is. Before coming to Sovereign, I had visited an ex-boyfriend and I went to go visit him for his birthday. Within 2 days of coming back, he called me a mistake. And this person knew about the inner battles that I was facing. He knew about everything that was going on inside of me, and so he knew exactly what to say to get to me. Within a few days after that, I want to say roughly a little over a week, I had a miscarriage, my second one that I've had in my whole entire life. It hurt me because he acted like he didn't care, and a lot of my other friends acted the same way. A few days after healing from the miscarriage, I ran into a completely different ex who ended up punching me in my face and throwing me against the wall. And I couldn't take it anymore. All the suicide attempts, always being sad, not having a reason to live. I didn't want to be that way anymore. I didn't want to feel like there was no reason to live, like as if I didn't have a purpose, let alone that I didn't know who I was. I didn't understand me. So I actually started doing research on some different treatment centers, what's best gonna be for me, what's gonna be my primary thing to go for, what is gonna help Angelica, make Angelica happy and be happy for who she is and understand who she is. And that's when I found Sovereign. And the fact that I was told that, you know, they treat the trauma as well as my mental health, it was like, okay, this is a win-win for me. And so within a few months, I made the arrangements of work. I made the arrangements to come here so that way I can actually be a better me. Well, the only way the program's gonna work is if you actually put in the effort to be part of the program. I learned a lot of different skills that I had no idea would work for me. I learned a lot of different coping mechanisms that I never even knew existed. I never knew that, you know, you could put ice on your neck or on your wrist to help you calm down for an anxiety attack. I didn't know that you could play with Play-Doh to help, you know, get you nice and calm. You know, taking out your frustration pretty much on the Play-Doh instead of taking it out in a non-healthy way. I didn't know that there were certain things that I can use to help me calm down and help me cope with my negative thoughts. You know, I just thought that going to therapy and writing about it was it. I didn't know about essential oils. I didn't know about using rocks or, you know, using other, you know, ways to calm yourself down. And being here with the program, it helped me discover those coping mechanisms, but not only that, when it comes to, you know, learning about what's going on inside you, it was like, oh my gosh, this all is starting to make sense now. Now I know why I did the things I did and why I did them and what was the reason behind them. I mean, house managers wise, the house managers, they like making you feel like, you're in a safe place. No one's gonna hurt you. You're here for you. And if you get sidetracked, they're gonna be like, you know what? I think it's, hey, remember why you came here? Do you remember what you told me? You came here for you. They will let you know when you're getting sidetracked, and they'll help you bring you back. I remember there was one time where I had the very negative thoughts that I had in the beginning coming here. And one of the house managers, she gave me some sticky notes. She was like, what I want you to do, because I had written in pen on my forearm, I hate myself. She's like, go wash that off, take these sticky notes, and what I want you to do is I want you to write down positive affirmations on your mirror and look at them and really let them sink in. And every single day, you do your best to try to add another positive affirmation and keep reading them. And it started helping me a lot, because it was like, okay, that's the type of help that you get from the house managers here. She's like, no, you've come too far now. I'm not gonna let you do this to yourself. They will keep on helping you with improving yourself. And you, as someone who's coming here for help, you have to be open to receiving it, because the only way it's going to benefit you is if you want the change and if you want to work the program. The program had horse therapy involved, and in all honesty, going and grooming them, feeding them, the different types of exercise, I never knew that I could become so confident in myself by making a connection with an animal. Like, before coming here, I was like, really? What is a horse gonna do for me? It's a big animal. It's not gonna do anything. But no, it's helped me connect with inner stress and tension within myself, and it's all around. The experience has been wonderful. You are gonna run into some patients that you're not gonna get along with. I mean, everybody here is dealing with their own inner battle. And at the same time, though, that could be a learning lesson for you. It can help you learn maybe certain issues that you weren't enlightened to, and to how to, be like, so how would I deal with this? What would be the better way of going about this? So that way, when you get out of treatment, because you're going to run into those type of people anyways when you're not here, you know how to face them instead of facing them in an unhealthy manner. In all honesty, it's never too late to go and get help. I mean, I'm 30 years old. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have a husband. I don't have children. Discovering myself before getting into a serious, committed relationship and having children, I feel is a really big positive on my behalf, because now I know who I am. Now I'm not guessing or looking for it in all the wrong places. The fact that I can honestly say that I love myself now, and I love myself enough to go get help, so that way I can do what's gonna help Angelica as opposed to what's gonna make others happy, is the biggest gift that this whole entire experience has ever given me. The fact that I'm leaving and I can smile and it not feel fake or it not feel forced. The fact that I can laugh at myself over little things instead of, talking myself down. The fact that, I had not so many bad days because of the skills that I was taught, because of the different resources that I have now found, and, just having certain things that I was afraid to bring out of myself because I saw them as bad qualities. is probably the biggest blessing that I have ever had. I had a wonderful therapist. She was phenomenal. She, when I was beating around the bush on certain topics or when I was trying to avoid something, she called me out on it and she was like, no, you're not going to avoid this. Or that you need to face this. And yeah, it was tough, but I mean, no situation in life is easy. You're going to have times in your life where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't take it. But at the same time, when you face challenges like that, you don't go running. I remember the one thing that I said before coming here is, I want to be like Alice from Alice in Wonderland, where she chops off the head of the Jabberwocky, because all my issues were Jabberwockies, and I just wanted to be like, no, you don't have power over me anymore. You don't control me anymore. And, there are going to be days where they're going to win. But the whole point of recovery is, having not so many days where they win. It's not about, being perfect. It's about always progressing. And you will have those days and those times where you feel like you've derailed. And that's recovery in general. It doesn't matter if you're like myself, who's a self-harmer, or who, struggles with depression or bipolar borderline personality, or, addiction with alcohol or drugs. Everybody has a negative addiction of some way, shape, or form, whether it's eating, whether it's drinking, drugs. The fact that you want to overcome that addiction is half the battle. And for me, I've also undergone 4 heart operations, and the fact that I can get through all this trauma and I can get through everything that I have undergone, there is still hope for you. And I hope that my story, you take away inspiration to go and get help, or let alone hope that it's never too late.